everybody, thank you very much for tuning into this, your weekly reading. This is going to be from the 21st to the 27th of November, and if I look a little bit festive, it's because I was just about to do the December intros for the December readings, and I thought, why not do the weekly one as well? I may as well do it. So I thought, why not? This week we are going to be using the Archangel Oracle deck by Lorien, seeing what kind of information comes from that. And yeah, if it is a private reading that you want, you just have to go to the link below, because this is a general reading. It does go for all signs, so it's not specifically tailored to anybody. It's just the general information that I'm getting from the universe as a whole, or stuff, you know, my spirit guides want me to know and things like that. So let's have a little bit of a deep breath. Everybody take a little bit of a deep breath. Woo. They're active already. I've tried to do some meditation this week. It just seems a little bit scatterbrained. Maybe it's me, but it just seems like there is a little bit. And one just literally flew off, and one on the floor, but I can't get it. So I'm just going to say that that is leaving this current energy at the moment. But yeah, it just seems a bit scatterbrained, like everybody is trying to... Oh, relationship harmony, we had that one last week as well. Okay, and it just seems like everybody is trying to kind of make sense of things. Rally round, that seems to be something that else is coming up. Whoa, hello. Counselor, it could be something that you're doing at the moment. Okay. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Take back your power. I can't remember whether we had that already as well. Sorry, I got tickly on my face again, and I know it's not just because of my hair. Okay, Clairaudience. Let's have a look and see. So the first one was relationship harmony. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. I see this as being maybe a continuation of what was last week, but in a slightly different format. They are suggesting that the emphasis is not just on romantic relationships, but on the communal spirit as a whole, of uniting family and being more in tune with one another. I think it may be if you have people of opposing opinions in your household, and or even in just your family, and you have to try and bring them together for certain occasions. Oh, it's Thanksgiving in America, isn't it? It could be that. But I also feel that there's something in depth with this. There's something like maybe a deep scar that is now being healed over, and I think it may be in part because you do communicate with this person. For instance, it could be a brother or a cousin or something like that who was really mean to you and you didn't know why, and they seem to be healing themselves. But on the flip side, it could be the fact that your exes are now coming back in to apologise for their behaviour. And you can just accept that, say thank you, and then walk away from it. But it just seems like something's being healed. Again, the rallying around, the making sense of what's happened, and the divisive divisions, that's what they keep saying to me. So if there has been like a straight down the line, we believe in this and we believe in that, I think maybe you are now going to start to see that united a bit more in the various way that things can be united. It can be, you know, opinions fine, but do we still love each other? Yeah, we do. It could be that, or have we always been there for each other? Yes, we have. I see this as being definitely something to do around a long-standing issue. A long-standing issue. You may actually get yourself an apology from somebody very important, friend, family, something like that. But that's very important for you. And the next one is counsellor. Now this one is, you are a natural counsellor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. I think you have to give yourself the best advice first of all. Anybody can give you advice. Anybody, you know, from different walks of life can go, oh, I've done this all before. I know exactly what you're supposed to do. Well, maybe what they did is fine for them, but maybe it's not the universal solution to every problem or the similar problem. And I think you have to be a little bit of your own counsellor here. Yeah, I think you could be good at being a bit of an agony aunt or uncle to some people, and you could be being called upon to kind of develop in some ways, kind of like your way of it's very hard to describe this. It's kind of like developing your way of understanding and developing your way of presenting your findings about things to other people. And say, I've just been a terrible experience. I have to tell everybody about this, and I do think that you would get some good feedback from that. But I think you have to take your advice first. For instance, a lot of the relationship readings that I take on the phone, and not necessarily always in actual video readings or audio readings, but it's more to do with, are you communicating with that person? And what advice would you give your best friend if they were in a similar situation? Now, of course, people put themselves outside of the box, outside of their situation. Well, it's different for her because, well, it's different for him because, but the situation is kind of still the same because of the fundamental format of it. So I think it's kind of just taking a step back and seeing what your own advice would be as to how to carry something forward, or whether you should let it go. For instance, you could continue to hold a grudge even if you do heal the rift, because you can forgive but you can't forget. Or you can just go, okay, and then move on to something else. What would you do? This is asking you, what are you going to do this week that helps you progress further with things. And the next one was take back your power. And I think that pretty much says everything, but I'll read it. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings into your life. If you hold on to negativity, if you hold on to, well, he did bad to me about 10 years ago, and even though he said sorry, I'm just gonna, you know, yeah, you probably will never trust that person, but just go, okay, let it go. You don't have to trust them again. You can just kind of accept the fact that they've recognised their mistake and carry on from it. Or it could just be, even if you don't have the apology, just kind of go, well, whatever, it was what it was. Clearly they were not in the right frame of mind, or they were not in the right place, and they treated me horrifically, but that says a lot more about them than it does me. Fine, let's go. Take back your power, because at the moment you give in to grudges, the moment you say, well, I'm not going to do that for him, or I'm not going to do that for her, you give them the power. They are kind of sapping the energy from you. You're giving them energy. Take it back, because you're wasting it. You should be putting it into something more positive. And for those of you who are actually living in your power and just forgiving and forgetting and letting them go, that's the perfect thing. I think you're going to see very strong movements this week. I think that you're going to finally have a eureka moment that comes through, because you're healing, and you're healing more successfully than those who hold on to grudges, and for those who go, well, I'm still never going to speak to them unless they talk to me first. You know, that kind of thing. It's not healthy, and I think that those of you who are not doing that are going to have a lot more progress this week than those of you who tend to do that. Are going to be happier anyway, because you're not going to still have this meh in the background of your head. Okay, so the last one is clairaudience. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. Again, the guidance, the loving guidance. You could be given the best advice ever from somebody, and if you're still holding on to this negativity, you go, yeah, but, 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 yeah. Look at it from the facts. Look at it straight head on. You don't have to overcomplicate it. See, I don't like normally putting this down into formulaic speak, but it is a formula. It's simple maths. If the core of the situation is 1 + 1 = 2, you know what to do, you know how to do that. But if you are at a crossroads and one's going to be like algebra for miles and miles and miles, and then the other one is just going to be overcomplicated, and you just kind of don't know which direction to go, then just kind of, you understand the core formula of your problems. It's just that the little finer details and the little numbers and the little dots and the other questions are just kind of confusing everything. You need to be if somebody says, for instance, there are two lines between what is good advice and what is bad advice. The good advice is suggesting things, the ways they coped, suggesting what worked for them, what didn't work for them, suggesting ways that you could improve yourself, ways that you could go about something, what you could do, and how you could move on. The bad advice is you do this, clear it off, go. And the rigidity of their decisions, they don't take into account any of your personal situations. The bad advice is, well, I did this and it worked for me, so it's got to work for you, and if you don't do it that way, then you're stupid. That's the bad advice. The bad advice is something that you want to take, but you feel really, or that you feel like you should take. You feel obliged to take their advice. For instance, somebody says break up with that person, and then somebody else says, well, you know, you can look at it from this side, you can look at it from that side, it's ultimately your decision, but we all, you know, I think we understand where it's going to go to. But, you know, it's the way people actually give you advice, I think. Be aware which is given to you with love and which is given to you with just the sole need to be right about something and to have a little bit of control over it. Because if they give you a little bit more of, you know, you do what you feel is right, then that is going to be the ones that is the loving guidance. You know, I feel that you should do this, but you do it. If you get somebody who goes, if you don't do this, you're stupid and I'm never going to speak to you again, that's kind of not supportive, and I don't think that's really a friend. So give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Always listen to that. And your heart, obviously. I think the balance a lot of the time is tipped between them, and I think that sometimes we can definitely overthink. Like, what happens if I do this? Will this happen? Oh, this will happen, and then he'll leave me, and then she'll go over there, and then she'll meet somebody else, and, you know, stop it. It's not happened yet. Go in it step by step. Plan ahead if you want to, but just kind of live in the moment. Get excited about the future rather than worried that patterns are going to emerge and that things are going to just, you know, I went for that promotion and they gave it to somebody else, so if I go for this one that's coming up, it's just going to be the same promotion and I'm just going to be disappointed again. You might not know. You know, it might go well for you this time, so just keep trying. Don't give up, because the moment you stop trying, the moment you stop achieving, basically. And I think it goes for the same in everything: relationships, success, money, career, personal progress, everything, really. And I think I've rambled enough now, but yeah, I think you get the picture. I hope you have a very happy holidays for those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving over there. We don't over here because, well, we're not American. And yeah, I just think that there's quite a significant amount of shift coming in. Everything's settling down now as far as I can hear. We're getting a little bit of a rallying cry to come together and be more settled, but people are still a bit scattered. Kind of like ants, you know, like when they all unify, but then you still have some stragglers coming in from the back end. I think that we are all kind of unifying now. But the key thing is to try and live in your very strong, your strong part of yourself, the good part of yourself, and don't give in to the of the things around you. I think that's very important. But thank you for watching. I hope this has struck a chord with some of you and the advice is good, at least. If you have meetings this week as well, they're saying always go in with your mind open but your vision clear. So if you have a direct vision as to what you want, then that's fine, but always see with your mind open. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I can still get to my goal, but maybe I can take it a different way. That's also something that they've just said. Sorry. But if you would like a private reading with me, go to the link below. Thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and everything. I really do appreciate it, and I love hearing from you all. It's a privilege to do that, really, and a privilege to be able to connect with you all. And I really hope this week is good for you, and I look forward to reading for you all soon. Take care.